What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draymond, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. We're back with episode 9 of Nightly Valor, our attempts to bring the light of the Lady of the Lake to the entire old world that constantly wants to obliterate us. We've been at war for most of this campaign, and now we've got a few other things on the go. The High Elves are retreating, which is good. We did confederate with Bordeaux, and now the Red Duke is trying to assault the main castle. Unfortunately, Dame Tyr and Salama are caught inside Bordeaux, but we may have to sacrifice them so that we can do a full-on assault on Lyonesse. Is it perfect? Hardly. But we can put Ryan back into the King's force, so we have some more magic, and she just gained a thug, more chance for assassination. We do have the ability to have 4 more peasant units available to us. If we lose Bordeaux itself, that'll go down to 16. So, while we are still waiting for the King's forces to recover, shall we say, because, I mean, our Knights of the Realm are triple silver veterancy already. Even our archers are starting to get in on it. It's becoming quite the thing. But we can use that additional turn, since we are going to need one more turn to kinda square these guys up a little bit. We can recruit maybe another unit of footmen for the good chaplain's army stack. I think we'll go with swords and shields. And then on our next turn, we are going to jump right into the assaulting Lyonesse. If we can take Lyonesse, we can take Mousillon. And if we take Mousillon, we can force the Red Duke either into capitulation, or we can just wipe him out at Bordeaux. It's a shame that Tyr and Lama are in such a bad position, but it's going to have to be what it is for right now. And if the Red Duke goes after Aquitaine, that's fine. We can follow him in, reclaim them, and wipe the vampires out of Mousillon and end the tyranny of that fallen dukedom forever. But for right now, we just need to be patient for one more turn, and then we can jump right into the assault on Lyonesse. Now, while we're waiting for the other nations to do their thing, they announced another DLC for Total War Warhammer 2, the Vampire Coast DLC. We're going to get to see a bunch of the stuff that happened with the vampires. I spoke about it during the Light of the Azure campaign, and a little bit in this one. The Vampire Coast is interesting as all hell, and there was even a campaign book for Warhammer Fantasy that was released to deal specifically with the Vampire Coast. It was a very fun time. You had the Sotek Blessed Lizardmen, you had a bunch of different vampire units, which they're giving to us, I should say, in this. One of them is a giant king crab that acts like a monstrous siege unit, so that's going to be awesome. And unfortunately, I think that takes care of Bordeaux. So when we lost a bunch of forces, and they did take it, so that hurts us a little bit. But it's not going to really matter right now. We have the time we need to take on Lyonesse. Anyway, back to the vampire counts. They get a whole bunch of nautical themed, pirate themed stuff. Think the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, only cool. So, Tyr and Lama, I'm sorry that we had to sacrifice you for the cause, but it is necessary. So, Grimaldus, we need to get you close to the castle. King Lewin. Hopefully Lewin is the one that can actually do the assaulting. If not, we'll have to go in with the chaplain. Which means we're going to have a turn where we have to continue the siege, because the king himself is not able to get all the way close, but we're going to get him in a good supporting position. And we are also going to see if Artois will confederate with us, and they won't this turn. Well, let's see if we can get Paravon into a better state. That does help us out a fair bit.
Do you know who I am?
And it doesn't really hurt us with Artois. So, with Paravon on our side, and they've got rebel Bastonians right near Montfort. So we may have Baston back into the picture. And of course the Toadbringer, he's on the coast. But with the Red Duke down there, we should be able to assault Lyonesse just fine on our next turn. We're going to lose a few troops to Vampiric Corruption, but because we have the Winter Woes Decree, not Winter Woes, Death's Door Decree, we are now no longer in a position where we have to worry about too much attrition from Vampiric Corruption. And I'd really like to know what the High Elves are thinking. As long as they keep heading south, that's fine. Because inevitably we may have to build up the Good Chaplain's army and send him over to start taking out High Elven lands. And the Toadbringer, with his pretty hurt army, I don't think he can take Languille, and he definitely can't take Couronne. But we'll have to watch him for a turn. Once we take Lyonesse, we'll send Chaplain back up that way, possibly to finish him off. We'll see how that works out. Cassian's probably going to wipe out these rebels. And he did fairly effectively. Still weird that Bretonnian lords and heroes don't start on a Bretonnian warhorse. It's my one gripe for the entire faction. My one big one, anyway. That Beastman army stack is pretty nasty. Yeah, unfortunately, the Red Duke, you're not going to get back there in time. And Mousillon's garrison is far, far less effective than Lyonesse's, since Lyonesse is the capital of this region. We could push pretty hard, but if we can get Lyonesse under our control, then we should be laughing. Alright, so the big thing we have to do right now, we can't actually continue the siege with him, but he should be in range to reinforce the king. And that will allow us to fight this battle on our terms. They have 3 units of Vargeists, these big bat-like monstrosities. So we're just going to engage, and the Good Chaplain's forces didn't suffer any attrition. Our Pegasus Knights are probably going to be busy assaulting, and we're going to use those trebuchets to open the gates, probably at 2 separate locations, and try to get our knights through. The Cairn Wraiths worry me, the Graveyard worry me, the Ghouls not so much, the Crypt Horrors kinda sorta, and we're definitely going to gamble on 7. Alright, so let's see about setting our men up.
My lord. Men at arms! Archers, aye! Twisting knights! What do you bead?
And of course we do have Sir PC in our group here. So the big thing is going to be to knock out that gatehouse and that gatehouse. I'd normally try to split and come in, but since we have Chaplain's forces coming in as well, I think we're going to try to vanguard as much as we can and force a section of the wall. I actually like where those trebuchets are sitting right now. What I don't like particularly is how our knights are all in dangerous spots where they don't need to be. They are heavy hitters, and once those gates fly open, they're going to be the ones that are going to do most of the damage. Sieges are always bloody for the Bretonnians because, well, we don't really pack siege equipment. We're better on an open field. So to kind of help out with that a bit, since our infantry are going to be charging the walls, we're going to get PC up on the walls as well. And hopefully that will be enough. So So we're going to start and then we're going to pause real quick so we can get everything working out how we want it to. Now the Cairn Wraiths are definitely the big bad here. Ryan, we're going to get you to move forward. We're going to get the king to move forward. Send the mounted yeomen over there to start shooting. We'll get our Pegasus Knights up in the air over near this other one. The Graveguard and everything that are over there don't worry me so much. And of course, Chaplain and his troops are going to be coming in fairly quickly.
Defensive positions. Bring death to them.
I don't think that's all of them. Our knights are taking some hits. So Grimaldus, we're going to get you to go forward. We're going to pause just quickly here. Get the other set of infantry moving up. The anti-infantry knights are going to come over to this side. We are going to be charging through that gate though, so perhaps it'd be better to put them there. We're going to send our Grail Reliquae up to the front as best we can. Move our archers up. And get Grimaldus's archers to come in and help out. And Lord Grimaldus himself, we're going to get you to come up with your troops.
The true heart shall prevail.
For duty.
Right now it's simply a matter of doing enough damage to them on the walls without losing too many troops.
Ladies chosen. Very well.
And as soon as those gates are destroyed, we're going to start charging our knights through. So first up, we're going to get our anti-infantry knights, our anti-heavy knights, and the other set of questing knights. And with our troops reaching the walls, our PC's going up to deal with those guys.
I call thee forth. Might of the lady.
Battle ready. Annihilate.
There we go. Most of our troops are starting to do some real damage up here.
Heroes of Britannia. Look this. Bound by honor.
Pretty sure those Cairn Wraiths have no anti-air stuff, like no archer or ranged weapons. The gatehouse should be getting ready to fall here pretty quick. Let's get our Pegasus Knights to go in and help that left flank out. If we can break it, we can start storming down the wall and help out the more besieged areas. Are those gates open? Looks like our troops are just charging through, which isn't a bad thing at all.
Lord of Britannia.
Alright, Grimaldus, get up with the king.
Glory awaits.
If we can get you guys to charge through those gates, maybe we can actually get all of our knights to go through.
For Britannia.
Actually, we should swap that up and send the Knights of the Realm over there.
Cut them down. Questing knights. Smite them.
It's going to be a moot point here pretty quick.
Pegasus knights.
As soon as those Graveguard are completely crumbled.
Understood.
I want you guys attacking those Crypt Ghouls, since the infantry we have up on the walls is getting a little bit shattered.
Shields. Aye.
And those infantry units over there, we're going to get them up on the walls as well. And that is a just massive amount of knights trying to pour through these gates.
King Lou and Leocan.
My gifts are yours.
I think the walls are pretty much ours at this point. Gatehouse is going to be essentially destroyed here. So we'll get them to start firing at will. Let's get the Grail Reliquary, I always say that weird, in to start fighting. The ghouls are almost done. Crypt Horrors are getting devastated.
Spearmen at arms! For the lady! King Lyonesse!
It is just one big mess up here. But we've already wiped out several large units of undead. And now our knights are really starting to come through for us.
Battle ready! Knights of the realm!
And it is just a monstrous melee of all these knights. How much ammo do our archers are out of ammo, with the exception of Grimaldus's unit.
Infantry!
Speaking of which, though, where is SAR-PC?
I am your man!
Make sure you take out that vampire.
Kill the enemies of Bretonia!
She is losing, but it's not exactly as quickly as I'd like. Our peasants are really taking a pounding here.
Waiting orders! Stiff lances! Down! Charge! Knights errant! Peasants! Fight for your lord! Battle ready! Right! To war!
Let's get that Grail Reliquary inside.
Pegasus Knights!
Pull our Pegasus Knights off this offensive here and get them reformed up in the air.
Run them through!
Now that vampire is winning,
Yes!
but with some infantry support, SAR-PC should be okay.
Quickly, lads! We serve the king!
And once that vampire goes down, the rest of the undead units should almost immediately start to crumble.
Arms!
She's pretty much the key to the entire defense right now.
The defenders don't stand a chance!
Oh, I guess it would be the Necromancer that's actually their binding unit. But either way, all of their infantry down here is kind of starting to suck wind. Well, if they breathed.
I serve the lady. Grant me your wisdom.
Our magic will counter their magic. Completely counters the melee attack. They're faster, but they have way less armor.
Slay them! Yes! See the power of Bretonia! Paladin of Bretonia! Ready for orders?
Hopefully we'll be able to completely overwhelm what's left of these ground forces. They went down a lot easier than I thought they would. And if we can take Lyonesse, well, then we take Lyonesse.
King of Bretonia! Protector of the realm!
Let's get all of our knights that aren't fighting right now to do a quick charge. It's kind of just a mindless scrum at this point. Those Grave Guard are not going to last long.
The lady's blessing is lost! The grail is in sight! Grail relic! Aye!
Well, let's advance. Oh, they've got some Grave Guard coming down. So let's get our Pegasus Knights ready for a flank charge. It's a full unit of Grave Guard.
At once!
Kind of worried that those Vargeists are going to get involved in the fight a little too quickly. And there's the trebuchets doing their thing.
Sorceress! Power of light!
Honor the lady!
Alright, we'll get them involved. Then send some questing knights in to slam into these Grave Guard and completely reduce what morale they have. And just for good measure, we'll have our Pegasus Knights come in and charge them in the flank.
Your behest! Come unto me!
Alright, that's not going to work at all. And that Grave Guard unit just got completely wiped out. I'll have those questing knights go back in.
Errant!
Damsel!
Right now, we're just trying to counter that Necromancer's spell work.
All shall know my power!
See if we can get some semblance of order back here.
To my banner! Knights of the Realm! Bretonia! I am with you! Yes! At once! My lord! Clear out!
Alright, let's advance
Quick march!
a unit of infantry down there.
Grail relique! At once! By the lady! Quickly, lad!
Of course, you guys aren't going to be unsupported. We're going to send our Pegasus Knights over to support you. Thought I saw the Vargeists moving there for a second, which would be very, very bad.
Spearmen at arms!
And it looks like we finally wiped out all of those individual units there. So SAR PC, we're going to get you to advance with a unit of knights.
Do you bid? At once!
We'll have some more knights and some infantry back you up down that lane.
Aye!
We've taken the walls. Now we just need to crash in and deal with...
Ready for battle!
Here they come.
Pegasus Knights! What orders? Die, fiends! King Lewin! Bretonians, attack! For the king!
And that's where it gets all messy. But with them charging that way, we can send all of you guys after that Necromancer. But it looks like their morale is starting to shatter and their health is starting to crumble. And with the Necromancer gone, these Vargeists should just start dropping like flies. And that's it. We have retaken Lyonesse after so long. We lost a lot of troops doing it, but they have none remaining. We wiped out all of the garrison here, including a vampire and their Necromancer commander. Can't really be too upset with the way our troops performed. Granted, we are definitely going to have to try and slaughter what's left. I mean, they're already dead. Doesn't even give us a chance. But we are going to occupy Lyonesse.
My strength and wisdom are yours.
And Chaplain, we're going to get you to rush back to Languille. Perhaps not directly in the city, because we don't want you to lose your devoted title.
Blessings of the lady be upon you. I am
And King Lewin leveled up. Now we could give him the Royal Pegasus, which would be okay. Respected by all is good. Additional 10 diplomatic relations with all armies. Casualty replenishment? Definitely wouldn't be bad. Clarion calls. Barracks buildings. and local recruitment capacity, not too great. Exemplary conduct would give us another paladin, and that paladin would start with 2 extra ranks. But right now we are trying to confederate, so let's go with respected by all and see if we can do some peace negotiating, so to speak. I'm going to try and get a cattle farm there. And a pasture. That should sort out some of our cash flow issues. We can change them over when we take Musalon.
You're overruled.
The Red Duke is kind of a bastard, but that's okay. Lyonesse has no garrison right now.
I refuse.
And we are still in the negatives for cash flow.
Champion of the
Now, one thing we could do that would kind of help us out in the cash flow department
Strength and honor.
merge some of the units that got hurt as far as the peasants go, because they really took a beating. I'd rather not merge the knightly units. I guess that's pretty much all we can do is just merge those infantry units together, put us back in the green. Doesn't leave us a whole lot of infantry support, but those guys are the veterans of many campaigns at this point. So let's pass it over to the other nations and see exactly what happens. I'd love to get a Grail Chapel in Lyonesse, because it would be pretty awesome. Kind of curious as to what the plan for the Beastmen is. I know the other beast herd that's near Musalon there has a couple of Cygors in it. Cyclops, Gore, Beastmen. In other words, big things that throw heavy, heavy, heavy rocks. Now, if the Red Duke sallies forth and comes out to try and take us on open land, that definitely wouldn't be healthy for him. And if Toadbringer continues to sail all the way back to the Empire, which he really should at this point, the Empire's coming down on Middenheim like you wouldn't believe, then maybe, just maybe, we'd have a chance to send Grimaldus off to get that Skull Reef. $10,000 crowns right now definitely would not hurt. Could dump the money into Lyonesse, Couronne, a couple other places too. And we do still have the battle in the woods, but we can't do that until we deal with the vampires on the coast. Essentially, we just traded Bordeaux for Lyonesse. Not exactly a great trade, but not a terrible one either. Kind of wondering what the odds are that the Red Duke would be foolish enough to come out to the field. If he is, well, that would be great, but apparently he's not. So we're just going to have to put it aside for now and think about what we're going to do. Age of Discovery. All major port owners have become known to each other via diplomacy, so that's good. Lady Ryan gained a rank. So we've got Power Drain and we've got Earthing. Chain Lightning. Such a powerful spell. And while we're at it, Ryan, you're going to go out into the realm and help fight the vampiric corruption that's there. Toddbringer has 10 units. Grimaldus has 9 and they're hurt. I don't really think that'd be good for out on the ocean just yet. We're making about 500 a turn, so that's not too bad.
You seek counsel?
And what do you give us for your local area? Campaign effects, research rate, hero action cost, skills. We'll just go with skills. So training in armies, public order when in friendly territory. It's constant local effect, so we're going to pop you out into the realm, help you bring up that a little bit. Of course, with the pastures and the farming fields, that should keep us above water right now as far as our economy goes.
Welcome, friends.
Let's see if we can get access to Paravon, and they did.
The lady grants you
And we'll take
safe
another long shot at Artois. Apparently they really don't want to confederate with us just yet. If they did, it would be awesome. We would just crush Mouzlon. But they don't want to just yet. And you know what? That's fine. That's okay. In one turn, we're going to have a lot of extra chances to do stuff. So all we got to do is keep on keeping on. Dawnbringer's the only threat right now, so we'll just pass it over to the other nations and see what they're going to do here. And we may lose Aquitaine to a Beast-Score Warherd. That's fine. That's okay. We can deal with that. It's definitely going to hurt our economy, and we may be forced to go after certain other things, but... So, Artois is now at peace with Avalorn. I wonder if the elves would actually accept a peace treaty. Now, you should keep sailing due east. That's right. You keep going east, and we'll all be happy. Which means Chaplain can go into march stance and get us that skull reef. And then we could possibly build a chapel in Lyonesse. Might be able to sort things out a little bit better. I'd love to see the Warherds go to war with Mouzlon. Sincerely doubt it's going to happen that way, though. Losing Aquitaine is not going to be good. It's not like we're really gaining anything out of it right now anyway, except for a little bit of coin. We've kind of shifted our goalposts a little bit when it came to all of this. But with that all said and done, we could start getting these heraldries, but we don't really need to right now. We should really focus on all of what we're doing. We don't have the money to start on that, but we will be fighting beastmen here pretty quick. So let's start getting the anti-beastmen thing, and Safri was destroyed. So let's go with first things first. Let's see if we can get the High Elves.
The nerve to stand before... Absolutely not.
No, they do not want a peace treaty with us right now.
King Lewin Leoncoeur.
And Chaplain Grimaldus, we can set you to march stance.
I go thither.
Send you up the coast a little bit. And Bretonnian galleons. I swear I can English. No, it should technically be French for this. And then we'll get you to grab that skull reef on our next turn.
True knight of Bretonia.
Or
To victory. Forward then.
what would it cost to try and assassinate him? It's not even worth it anyway.
Going forth.
But let's see what Ryan's chances are.
I have foreseen their death.
A success, so that'll take care of that. It does hurt our cash flow a little bit, but that should be solved next turn. Again, pretty much all we can do right now is let the other nations do their thing. Now this Warherd, the Minotaurs that are gold ranked alone pretty much mean that the Aquitaine defenses are doomed. We won't be able to help them at all. So we're just going to have to basically sacrifice it for the benefit of everything. And then hopefully we can build up a few more forces. Now, I hate the fact that the Azure are constantly picking at our borders. Because, well, we know what they're capable of. From the Light of the Azure series, we know that they're pretty powerful and they have a lot of range damage. Assaulting their castles and their citadels is going to be one of the things that I'm not looking forward to at all. Now, why would the Exiles of Nehek, which are way in the northwest, declare war on the Shadowgore Warherd, which is down here with us? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that Warherd is still losing out a lot.
One step further, stranger. You do not.
Yeah, this is a tough call. I don't think we'd be in time to defeat Kazrak One-Eye, but that would let us send a chaplain down to claim a couple of cities here, or we could wait out the timer and assault the Red Duke. They're only at war with us, so, you know what, we can let them settle for now. We won't break faith with it, but we will deal with it. And now we have a Shrasian army coming towards us too. We just can't catch a break. I mean, every time we catch a break, it blows up on us. So, Grimaldus, let's get you to grab that Skull Reef. Bound Spell Blast. It's magic missile, so we might have to give that over to Ryan.
Do you take me for a churl?
Now, we're making a little bit of money, and that's all settled. What are the odds that we'd be able to make it to Aquitaine in time? Probably not very good. Now, so our PC did level up. We can get him another rank in Specialist, so we can start using him towards other goals. The Red Duke kind of pacified right now. It's not a great concern. Ooh, that's another Skull Reef. Sorry, Chaplain, second orders, you're going out over there. But what we can do is we can try to recruit a lord. Now, Albrecht of Bordlow is a legendary lord, and it would probably be a good idea to get him. I just really don't like the path that he takes. His trident is okay, but it's not great. And we do not have a damsel on our list yet. Well, a prophetess. And life is great. And honorable would be even better. And the fact that she's got a red headband, I've got a perfect.
Devotee of the lady.
And this will be Dame Bloodwind. Since we're going with that one this time. You can go into Corone because there's the chapel there. Now, Battle Pilgrims, they have decent armor. Not as good as the Men-at-Arms. Their leadership is far, far better. Their melee attack is better. Their melee defense is worse. They're better overall on the charge. So we'll get 2 units of them and a unit of archers. And since Bloodwind has to get the Knight's Vow at rank 2, we can't really do much yet. But after the Chaplain claims this and comes back to shore, we're going to use Chaplain Grimaldus to hold up here, and we're going to send her down to try and reclaim some of the territories in the south. Now, what are the odds that Paravon or Artois would confederate with us?
Welcome, friends. Let's hope
No.
We are improving pretty rapidly with them. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. Because in all likelihood, the Red Duke's going to betray us as soon as he gets a chance. We could bring Bloodwind down to Lyonesse, that now actually has a garrison. She could hold on to it. And we could take the king, and we could go try and fight the Beastmen. It's actually probably the best idea if we can assault them on the open ground.
On to victory.
We are trespassing and taking a little bit of vampiric corruption. But that's okay.
My deeds are
And we're going to leave PC and Ryan doing their thing. And Corone can be upgraded. It's a big chunk of the treasury that we just put in, but upgrading Corone to level 4 is a good idea. I'm trying to figure out what the other 2 things I was holding out for were. Probably get a trebuchet and a tap room. Now, the brothel actually costs you chivalry to claim. Let's pass it over to the other nations and see what they're going to do. Not really sure how this is all going to play out, but with any luck, we won't have to face the elves. The king's still in position to go back if we need him to, and we can send Chaplain down to Lyonesse from the sea. The war with the Azure is kind of what's bugging me right now. I'm kind of curious as to whether or not the Beastmen are actually going to take out our city this turn, Aquitaine. You really had to do that, didn't you? Well, we gotta enter the war on the side of our ally. Is the Red Duke gonna engage us out in the field? No. Well, that kind of changes all of our plans right there. So the king's going back to Lyonesse to restock all his troops, and yeah, it completely changed up everything that we were going to do. We're back at war with Mousillon, because they declared war on Artois, and we do not leave our fellow Bretonnians hanging. So we're going to have to just deal with it. You know how it goes sometimes. Alright, so first things first.
I am the blood of Gilles. My journey begins.
King Lewin. Head back up towards Lyonesse.
Blessings of
Chaplain,
the
you're still going to go get that skull reef. Corone is upgrading.
Sorceress.
With
I
our
see
allies, the
you.
Empire, right there. Bloodwind, you can probably get that without... Oh, great. There's a Norskin raiding party there.
Paladin of Bretonia. She called.
Well, let's just stir the pot a little bit down here. See if we can get them to do a little bit of damage to them. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a harsh couple of turns. We can't really do much more, so the other nations can fly at it. It's a Vampire Count Rebellion in Aquitaine. Alright, so we had a bit of a crash happen.
You seek the
And with the
lady's
power of
favor.
foresight, knowing what's coming up, since we
We
can't
have met
beat those
before.
guys.
The lady is with you. I have seen your heart. My sight is yours.
I think we're still going to lose Lady Bloodwind, which kind of sucks. Never know, the dice could go better for us. Yes, I'm talking about things that happened but didn't happen because we had a crash. However, if the Red Duke wants to come and fight us, we're going to need our heroes involved in
I
it.
have seen your heart. Grant me your gifts, my lady.
And unfortunately, we can't hire any special units right now. We know the rebellion's coming up, so we're just going to have to pass it over to the other nations. Now, we didn't lose too much, but the crash did hurt us. It was right in the middle of a big fight, so we'll see how it goes. Aquitaine, we know, is lost, so we'll have to deal with that. And Norska is going to come down, and maybe we get lucky? Not at all. I'm sorry, Bloodwind. I didn't mean for it to happen. It just kind of happened. We will get vengeance on the Norskins for you, though. They can't really do anything in Bretonia right now, and the good chaplain's going to grab that skull reef and come back and have some words with them at Lance Point. Now what it really comes down to is the Red Duke going to come after us? I guess not. But he's going to take Aquitaine. Which means we could probably assault Mousillon itself. We don't have a lot of infantry. But if we take Mousillon, that gives us the entire province of Lyonesse. I'm so sorry, Bloodwind.
King Lewin
Couldn't be
the
avoided. We'll grab the second rank of Chain Lightning. Well, what is Mousillon's garrison? It's fairly substantial,
Such a thing is impossible.
and they have a lot of necromancers, but I think we're going to go after them on this turn.
I am the blood of Gilles.
But given how much time has passed, I think it would probably be wise to call that an episode. We're just going to quickly deal with the chaplain out on the ocean and get him headed back towards Bretonia, though. An errantry banner, so lots of gold. Let's get you back into Corone. I don't want to recruit a hero right now. I wanted to recruit a lady. 3% ward save. And we're losing cash per turn, and it would cost us 250. But the Virtue of the Penitent's too good to leave out there.
Of the realm.
So this is going to be Lord Phoenix. Oops. Helps if I put it on the proper lines. Come on, Dre, you're smarter than this. And that's going to do it for this episode. So next time we're going to send the king in, we're going to take on Musalon. And we're going to slaughter them. To a corpse. Mostly because we have the heroes in there to help us out, and the Red Duke is all the way off in nowhere, and his forces are kind of underrated. Now, are the Beastmen actually allied, or at war with the... I guess I shouldn't be scrolling. They're at war with the Wood Elves, but not with the Vampire Count, or the Musalon Dukedom. That's okay. At least we're going to be opening up this entire lane. And we're going to have a rebellion too, so Chaplain's going to have to put that down. Might as well upgrade those while we have a chance. But anyway guys, that's going to do it for this week. So if you liked the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, possibly see your name pop up in this or other Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. But remember guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.